Good morning, guys. I have my new blower motor here. New American-made capacitor with global materials. I'm about to slide it into this electric furnace. I changed out an A coil and a scratch and dent VSZ Goodman a couple years ago, and they're finally ready to start it up. And when I go to start it up, the blower's bad in their existing electric furnace. So there was no power at the time, so I didn't know if it was bad or not. And it actually spun pretty freely. It's toast on the inside. So I'm gonna go install this new blower. I'm gonna slide it in, and we're gonna hook up the old Molex plug together there, and I'll show you what I do. Whenever I checked to see if the blower motor was bad, I checked the capacitor, it was fine. I spun the motor and actually spun pretty well, so I was kind of surprised, because that's normally what I do when the capacitor is good. I'll spin the motor, and usually they don't spin very freely or whatever. But I have my electric leads from my meter. I have a little amp probe meter I use sometimes, and it was testing whether or not the motor was getting voltage from the blower motor relay, which is a little peanut style 6-pin relay down here, and it was fine. So the blower motor was condemned, but I'm going to slide the new one in, wire up to this Molex plug on the speeds that I want, and we're going to turn her back on. I started to think about it. I have our Molex plug here. I push the little tabs on the side and it'll slide down through the hole it was in. I'm just going to remove it and either put some sort of wire protector there or create a knockout for a Romex connector or something, because those things go bad too, and I might as well just go ahead and get rid of it since I'm already here doing this. And guys, I have my split loom on there, stuff I was telling you about from Harbor Freight, to create a little raceway in between the two areas of the cabinet. I have one on each one of the sets of wires. I can only fit 2 in each one, so I have the common and medium and high speed and low speed together. So I'm going to put those in there. I can wire them up. We can test this thing out. Guys, the yellow wire is the wire for my motor. That's the common. It's going back to the breaker for the electric furnace. My speed tap wires, it's very hard to see. Little relay back in here. But as you can see, there's a blue and red. Medium is the cooling speed. Low is the heating speed. I didn't want to use high, which is right there for the time being until I get done, because it is a more powerful motor, because the amp draw on these trailer furnace motors is a little bit higher, so I had to step it up to a 1/2 horsepower. It's also a little bit faster RPM. The previous motor was about 1,000. This one's 1075, 1100, whatever they are. And I want to make sure we don't overload the motor, so we're going to take an amp draw on it when we turn it on, and we'll go from there. We have motor operational. Our amp draw is 2.3, which is below the motor spec for the previous motor. We are getting a lot of airflow. We're going to go check it. I don't know if we're going to be stepping it up to high speed because of that, because these trailers generally only have a few outlets. You see there's one here, one in the kitchen, one in the back, one in the bathroom. So there's 4, and 5 for this bedroom, 6 for that bathroom, 7. 7 on a 3-ton system, so you're gonna throw the grills out of the floor on high speed perhaps, so we'll see. Okay, the blower is all working now, so we are going to go outside and hook up our smart tool to the outdoor unit, start it up, and make sure everything looks okay. A-la-da-dee. Well, it is on. It's not in cooling. I'm going to hit the disconnect switch. Nothing. Well, I thought I turned on the breaker, but I have a call for cooling and nothing's happening out here. The disconnect is on. Let me double check the breaker, but I'm pretty sure it's on too. Well, I didn't look very closely because, as you see, the unit hasn't been wired yet. That's a lovely splice, by the way. The unit has no wire in there. Oh my God. We have our whip hooked up. Like I said, lucky I had some on the truck. 1/2-inch whip, so I had to use some reducing washers, which I have down there in my tray. I try to save those off jobs whenever I get done with them. So let's turn this bad boy on and see if she starts up. You can hear for the first time. It's been waiting for a long time for that. We're gonna let her run for a minute, see how she looks. Guys, I got the DAFM3 out and I went across this 20 by 25 grill here, and I was happy to see that our beefy half horsepower blower motor running at about 2.3, 2.4 amps door open was pushing around 1280 CFM through this grill, which I was happy with. It's pretty good. So I'm satisfied with that. We are clear to charge because that CFM will offer us a good amount of air for charging. So we're going to walk outside and check and see what's going on out there, and I'll catch up with you guys on the outside. There's our numbers right there. We're about to add some refrigerant in with the fill piece here. So I'm going to add about 8 ounces. We'll take another look at it. You guys, we got a 3.3 and 18 degrees superheat, 128 under 281.5. So we're doing pretty good. She's purring like a kitten. Everything's cooling down inside. The GMC begins its long life here. I set this thing in January of 2014. The high that day was 26 degrees. I remember specifically Ralph telling me, "What the hell are you doing that for?" And I remember saying, "I don't know why this is happening." So, Tan Goodman is back, quieter than before. If you look way over there, see there's a Goodman right there. It's one of those brown ones from the early 2000s. Actually replaced a compressor in 2009, and she's still rocking and rolling. So, rock on, Goodman, rock on. Guys, when you work on a furnace in a trailer, the blowers in there are kind of beefy a lot of times because of the static pressure they have to deal with that tiny ductwork. So when you remove a blower from a trailer, always check the amp draw, just like you would in any other circumstance. Just don't go back, find the same horsepower and be done with it. Look at the amp draw, see if your new motor can handle it, because there might be a lot of static on that system. It might be a specific blower. You might have to do like I did, up the horsepower of the motor to compensate, where we actually did a pretty good job of achieving the proper airflow even in a single wide. So just be mindful of that sort of thing. And I will see you guys on the next one.
I bleed for my money, day in and day out. I try to give you the things you deserve, but I'm just a college dropout who gives his weeks to break the mean, falls in the tide line, and is washed out to sea. When I see the sunshine coming, I feel the day close.